Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we'll be doing a look at the all-new 2026 Infiniti QX60. This one here in particular is the Luxe trim level, and as you can see it is completely refreshed from the ground up for the upcoming model year. Now as you can see, this one here is going to be a little bit different today because I'm actually filming inside of this showroom rather than outside, which of course gives me some more time to actually get up close and personal with the vehicle. Now with that being said, a huge thank you to my good friend Denilson, as well as the fine folks here at Crest and Infiniti, which is part of the Crest Auto Group here in Frisco, Texas, for giving me some time with this one today. Now, because we're doing it inside, I do not have access to the keys right now, but I'm going to do my absolute best to give you guys a complete tour of the all-new QX60. So, first and foremost, starting things off here in the front, we do have a revised grille, and as you can see, kind of gives it a much more unique and kind of elegant look. Kind of reminds me of like a waterfall of some sort, and I do like kind of the accenting on the middle portion here. Basically the entire grille kind of has this accenting here, which is very nice. You have your newer Infiniti emblem, and of course it does include that front facing camera, so that way you will not get yourself into a frontal collision. And when you pound a little bit, it kind of gives it a mixture of both luxury as well as aggressive, so it kind of gives you a kind of a mix between two different themes, and overall it does look really nice. This one here being the Luxe, you also get the front parking sensors, as you can see there, which is very nice. You do have your standard LED daytime running lights with your LED projector headlamps. And coming over to our wheels and tires, we're taking a look at a set of Bridgestone Alenza Sport All Seasons, and these are on 20-inch wheels. These ones measure 255 50R20s all the way around. Of course, coming over to the door, if I had access to the key, this vehicle does come standard with a smart key access system, allowing easy access to the exterior as well as the interior. By doing that, of course, all I'd have to do is just come to the door. There's a touch sensor inside here. You just put your hand in and the vehicle will unlock, allowing you to jump on inside. And then when you're finished, close it up, you tap the button here, and one beep will indicate locking, thus locking all the doors, and the mirrors would likely fold in. The exterior color of this one is finished off in warm titanium with the graphite leather interior. Come over here to the door panel. As you can see, you're going to have some very nice soft touch material on top, as well as down here at the bottom. You're going to have some stitching coming across the door panel, which is very nice, as well as your aluminum door handle itself. You have two-person memory seating here. And then as you come over to our control panel, we do have our controls here for your power mirrors, your power locks, your power windows, and your child window lock here. You do have the new Klipsch sound system in the QX60, which is nice. This is directly from the QX80, by the way. You do have your standard storage pocket here, followed by a good-sized cup holder. All right. So sitting inside of the new QX60, let's do a quick walk around of the interior, starting things off here obviously with the biggest change, and that's going to be the new steering wheel. So for 2026, you do get a newer, kind of a nicer looking design steering wheel, which is very impressive. You have your controls here on the left as well as on the right sides, and it's also rack and pinion powered. You also have paddle shifters on the left as well as on the right sides, and you also have your new Infiniti emblem here, which to me does look really nice to see in person. Now, with that being said, one of the new things for 2025 that's actually going into 2026 is going to be the introduction of the newer digital instrument cluster here, and that essentially is going to be on all the different trim levels. So as you can see, with that being said, we're taking a look here at a blank screen, obviously because we don't have access to the vehicle as far as like starting it up and all that. But with that being said, as you can see, this is where you'd be able to find your speedometer, tachometer, all your information, your driver information system and everything here. And then over here, we'd be taking a look at a rather nice display here, also coming in at around 12.3 inches. So you get a 12.3 inch infotainment system, 12.3 inch instrument cluster, which is very nice. As you can see coming down here, we do have our climate control functions. We do have our heated and ventilated seats for the front and front passenger, heated steering wheel, rear controls for your air conditioning in the front, your fan speed, as well as your different modes. You have AC, you can turn on or off. You can turn the entire system on or off, and you do have recycling there. Now, as we come back up to the screen real quick, this is where you'd be finding your things such as your audio system, settings, navigation system, and all that stuff. So you don't have it here as far as it being on, because again, I am filming inside of the dealer, but it is fine to look at the screen here, which is pretty cool. And then as we come down here, we do have our new CVT transmission, which was actually introduced for 2025 when this vehicle got a refresh when it came onto the engine. So you have your CVT transmission here, you have your D mode for your drive modes, you have your push button start button here, you have your auto stop start function right here, electronic parking brake, auto hold, you have your shortcut buttons here as well as your scroll knob that you're going to be using to control the infotainment system right there. You have audio, menu, map, your back button, as well as your camera. You have two cup holders. You have an area where you can put your phone to charge. Now, this one here being the Lux, you don't get the wireless charging in the vehicle standard. You'd actually have to get it as an option. However, as we come over here to our glove compartment, you have a good amount of storage space inside, and you have a USB port, as you can see at the very bottom. And when you close this up here, you do have this very nice stitching right here, as well as the leather material looking the way that it is. Now, coming over to the seats themselves, this is a pretty nice place to spend time, especially if you're new to the Infiniti brand. As you can see here, I do like the shape of the headrest, added as it is a little bit ergonomical, but also it does look really, really unique and quite nice. Now, the seats themselves, as you can tell, they're pretty comfortable. You do have perforations coming down the middle. You have stitching coming across the sides of the seats as well as on the side bolsters, and overall, it does make for a very comfortable seating position. Come over here to your glove box. It is plywood felt, dampened, and you have a good amount of storage space inside. You have some piano black material coming across the dash here, as well as some more soft touch material. And then on top of here, we do have some hard touch plastic. And then right here is going to be kind of like a faux carbon fiber or like aluminum finish, which does look really nice on the Lux trim level. As you can see, you do have your standard mirror here. And this one does not have the camera in the mirror. That's obviously you would not be expected in the Lux. You'd be getting that on something like a higher trim level, like the Autograph, for example. You're going to have your garage home link integrated into the camera down here. You do have controls up here for your overhead lights, your SOS, your roadside assistance, as well as for your sunroof, which this vehicle does come with, as you can see, which is pretty cool. You do have a visor here with a mirror, as well as an incandescent light. Coming down to the left side here, you're going to have your button here for your heated steering wheel, open up the cargo area, and that's pretty much it there. Now for 2026, as I said, this is a completely revised vehicle, and there's still a lot more to check out. So with that said, let's go ahead and continue the tour of the newly refreshed 2026 Infiniti QX60 Lux. Coming into the second row of the new QX60, materials do follow through in this one, which are super nice. You're going to have two seat pockets, one on this side and one on that side. You also have your controls here for your climate and everything here, such as your temperature adjustment, fan speed, and positioning. You also do have two USB-C ports down here. Now, keep in mind, the QX60 is a two-row SUV, so you are going to be getting space in the back as well, which is very nice, but I should not be saying it's a two-row, it's actually a three-row SUV. So the second row is nice. It's a bench setup here, which means you just have to use this lever to go into the third row. Now, since we're still back here, we also do have a pad armrest with two cup holders and a little bit of storage space inside there. We do have our capless fuel filler tank right there. Come to the back, as you can see, we do have LED taillights. We have Infiniti spelled out here. We no longer have the emblem on top of the vehicle anymore. We have our rear parking sensors, QX60 badge there. And of course, we are going to now go into the cargo area of the new QX, which I think I have to unlock from the inside of the car. Give me 1 second. Yep, there it is. Push and hold, and it will open up automatically for you. Now, with that being said, this is a three-row SUV, so you might be wondering how much space this vehicle will give you. For that reason, I don't think it has really changed all that much for 2026. As you can see with this way that this is set up right now, you're looking at just for 41 cubic feet of space, which is not too bad. If you want to, you can pull up the seats like so, and when you do that, cargo space will then be reduced to about 14.5 cubic feet of space, which again is not bad. But of course, if you want to, you can use these little straps here and fold the seat back down once again, as I'm going to try and demonstrate that right now. Probably have to do that from the inside, but you guys kind of get the idea of how much space this vehicle will have with the cargo room being the way that it is. Now, if you want to, you can hold down the second row via those little buttons on both sides of the seat, and when you do that, cargo space will expand to 75.4 cubic feet, which is not too bad, and pretty much on average for this mid-size luxury SUV segment. Now back here, we do have a carpeted mat with Infiniti spelled out on top of it, and then underneath here, we do have our first aid kit. We do have a couple other things here. So basically, this is your cargo organizer, as you can see, which is nice. And then when you're finished, tap the button here, and it will close on automatically for you. We do have a set of roof rails here, which is very nice, as well as our mirror caps in piano black with the LED turn signals on them. Under the hood of the Infiniti QX60, nothing has changed for the 2026 model year. This, of course, is going to be their new 2-liter VC turbo 4-cylinder, which was all new for 2025. It goes into 2026 pretty much unchanged. It produces 268 horsepower and 286 pound-feet of torque. It's only rated to that CVT transmission, and this one you can have in either front-wheel drive, like what this one is, or you can have it in all-wheel drive as well. Overall, pretty solid numbers and a pretty good engine so far. Now come over to our window sticker for the QX60 Lux. As you can see, 2026 Infiniti QX60 Lux. Everything that you're going to see on this left side is going to be standard on the vehicle. And as far as our safety features are concerned here, as you can see, you have a high beam assist, you have your forward emergency braking with pedestrian detection, lane departure warning, lane departure prevention, blind spot warning, blind spot for intervention, as well as our 3D around view monitor with movement object detection, automatic braking, as well as road cross traffic alert. Come over to our options list. This one has an MSRP starting out at $56,800. You have the carpeted floor mats, which are standard, and you have the silver roof rail crossbar for $495, the cargo package for $445, splash guards for $255, and the premium paint that you see here is for $695. With a $1,350 destination charge, the total MSRP for this vehicle is coming in at just over $60,000. Fuel economy for this vehicle, as you can see, is pretty much the same, coming in at 22 city, 28 highway, 24 combined. And then we do have some additional add-ons. If you want to add on to the vehicle, you can. All right, guys, so back in the QX60, it's a really nice place to spend time, and I know it's a little bit all over the place, but this is my first time actually sitting in the new QX60, and I have to say, I'm really liking the revisions that Infiniti did to this car. You know, my only concern would be the reliability of that VC turbo, but everything else here seems to have been revised. It looks a whole lot better. I'm very happy that Infiniti is making some of the changes they need to make, just in case, you know, something does happen to Nissan, obviously with their financial situation and everything in the next year or so. But nonetheless, it's still a great car. Still like it for what I'm seeing, and overall, huge thank you once again to Crest Infiniti for giving me the opportunity to check out this new vehicle. But with that being said, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this one here today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next